Hello everybody and welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I'm excited to be here with you today for another week of live step-by-step crafting. I hope you all had an amazing weekend, spent some time with loved ones or just doing some fun activities. I hope if you're in the United States, you got to watch the Super Bowl and eat some yummy snacks yesterday and just overall had an amazing weekend. Now on yesterday, we woke up to about 6 inches of snow on the ground. We didn't have any snow before and yeah, got some snow overnight. The good thing is though that it has started to melt and a lot of it is on its way out. But they're estimating maybe more snow this weekend. So I'm hoping, as of right now, it says that we are only supposed to get rain this weekend. So hopefully just rain and not more snow. Hello, Corinne, Maggie, Carol. Hi, Carol from Connecticut. Did you guys get a lot of snow in that storm this past weekend? Hopefully you guys stayed dry and you didn't get a ton of snow down there. All right, now today I am kicking off Valentine's Day week with Makers Monday, and I'll be creating 3 projects featuring the Meant to Be bundle from the online exclusives offering. This is such a cute bundle, and it coordinates with a bundle that we had last year in our January to April mini catalog. I hope that you guys are able to craft along with me today, but don't forget, each week I have that free project PDF tutorial on my website. I printed it and it's over on my printer. I forgot to go grab it, but that's okay. You guys know all about that, so stampinblondie.com, you can pull that off each week, and it has all the prices, item numbers, and names of the projects, supplies that I'm using here today. All right, so I just have a couple quick things to go over. Oh, Carol, you didn't get as much snow as we did. Yeah, luckily it was easy for my husband to shovel the driveway. It wasn't like wet, heavy snow. And like I said, most of it's starting to melt anyways. It's all off my deck, and yeah, Beans had a great time playing in it. I shared a little video here on my Facebook page yesterday of him playing the snow, and he just loved it, so. All right, so let's go ahead and swap the camera. I just have one quick announcement and then we'll jump right into our projects this week. So don't forget, Celebration is ending at the end of this month, and the good thing is Stampin' Up! Debuted last week more items to celebrate with. And in this, one of the products that we're gonna be using here today is on the new Celebration list. So one of the items coordinates with what we're using here today, so you can grab that as your free item. If you aren't too familiar with what Celebration is, every year Stampin' Up! Hosts this promotion, and for every $60 that you spend, you get to choose a free item out of the Celebration catalog. Now, it's kind of set up different than our catalog, but I wanted to point out one thing. These purple adhesive back sequins on page 10, we are going to be using them on our projects here today. So they come in 4 different colors. I just cut mine in half so I could put them in these little plastic holders that I use. But also on page 11, the Bloom Impressions designer series paper is currently on the low inventory list. Now, because it's a Celebration item, I'm not sure if Stampin' Up! Will be replenishing its stock once it is sold out. So just know, if the Bloom Impressions designer series paper was on your list, that item is on low inventory right now. So you'll want to place that order as soon as you can to get that Celebration item if that was something you were wanting. So Celebration, like I said, runs through the end of this month. Now, along with getting free items for qualifying orders, you actually get more for becoming a demonstrator and joining the Stampin' Blondie team. Now, Celebration and celebrating your way with Stampin' Blondie, every year during Celebration, they have a join special to get the starter kit. And normally the starter kit is your choice of $125 worth of products for $99. But during Celebration, you get to add on one of 2 different options for your bundle. And option 1 is 2 of the Stampin' Write marker bundles. You get to choose a color family of either brights, subtles, regals, or neutrals. So 2 of those for colors families, and then also a handmade designs exclusive stamp set. Now if those 2 items aren't calling you, you can also choose option number 2, which is an additional $30 of items on your starter kit. So $155 worth of items for $99 with free shipping. So you get over $185 value for these items. So if your wish list is longer than $99 and you've been wanting to place an order, the joining the Stampin' Blondie team is the best option during celebration. You'll want to make sure you put that order in by the end of this month. Hello, Shar. Hello, Janice, Sarah, Dawn. Thank you all for watching. Leanne from the super cold Colorado. It's not too cold here. It's just super windy. I've noticed that Rhode Island is very, very windy in the wintertime. I thought Tucson was windy. Tucson was windy all the time. Rhode Island is very windy. Okay, so like I mentioned, I always forget to do this, Prize Patrol. So each week I do something called Prize Patrol, and all you have to do is share this video, comment that you shared, and you'll be entered into Prize Patrol. Now last week, our Prize Patrol item was a package of the Golden Honey Designer Series paper. Now this is great because it coordinates with the supplies that we're going to be using today, so you can create even more bee themed projects. And the winner of our Prize Patrol from last week was Carmen Schweitzer. So congratulations, Carmen. Thank you for sharing my video. All she had to do was share the video and comment that she shared, and she was entered into Prize Patrol. Now today's offering is something that Stampin' Up! Doesn't offer anymore, and it is a package of the Orchid Oasis cardstock. A really fun color because depending on what you pair it with, it can either look purple or blue. So it's kind of one of those chameleon colors, almost like our Bubble Bath cardstock, where it can look either purple or pink depending on what you pair it with. But this week's Prize Patrol item is the Orchid Oasis cardstock. All you have to do is share this video, comment that you shared, and you're entered into Prize Patrol. All right, let's go ahead and swap the camera and we can jump into, we already swapped the camera. What am I doing? Okay, so yesterday on my website and Facebook and Instagram, I shared our first project for the Meant to Be weekly class. So here is the project that I used. Now this stamp set, like I said, is called Meant to Be. Here's what it looks like. 18 stamps, a mixture of images and sentiments to go along with this. And you may have said to yourself, hey, that stamp set looks eerily familiar to what Stampin' Up! Has had in the past. And you are right, because it coordinates with the Be My Valentine stamp set from last year's January to April mini catalog. Now this Be My Valentine stamp set is still current, so you can still get this. And this came as a bundle with a coordinating punch, the Bee Builder Punch. And this is the item that is currently on that celebration list as a more to celebrate option. So you can choose this as your celebration item. You can get the Be My Valentine stamp set, the Meant to Be stamp set. There is designer series paper, so let me show you. Last year, Stampin' Up! Put out these designs, but they had Real Red and Petal Pink, I think were the colors in it. This year, it is Pretty in Pink and Petunia Pop are the main colors of this designer series paper. So all of it coordinates with each other. You can use the same paper from last year with this stamp set. But also for those scrapbookers, Stampin' Up! Also released a sticker sheet to go along with this. Now there is an option on the website where you can get the sticker sheet and the designer series paper all together, or you can just get the designer series paper, or you can just get the sticker sheet. So there is an option for all of those. Now, I will admit I am not a scrapbooker. It takes me a really long time to put together a scrapbook page, but I am gonna be doing a class with this Meant to Be bundle with my friend, Canadian demonstrator, Nimi, and I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of my scrapbook page for that project. So for that class, we're gonna be doing 2 cards and 2 scrapbook pages, so you get a little switcheroo from what I normally do. And this is my scrapbook page that I created. Kind of hard to put it all on one video here. Now, I chose this picture because my dog's name was Honey, and this was like the perfect picture to use with this bee-themed paper. It's hard to see, but there's some like splattering in the background there. I added some little stitching down at the bottom, but this is my scrapbook page. It took me a long time. I'm not a scrapbooker. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but I'm really happy with the way this turned out. So if you like that scrapbook page, there'll be more details about that Meant to Be class coming out very soon. But back to the bundle. So last year, like I said, this was the bundle that was offered, the punch and the Meant Be My Valentine stamp set. Now, I am not going to be using this stamp set today, but I will be using the punch, so I'll put that off to the side. Now, this stamp set comes with new dies to go along with it. Now, what really drew me into this is not that it coordinates with the stamp set. I love that. But these shaped dies here, I love them. You can use these on so many different options. And when you cut out one with the die, it cuts out this kind of like negative piece, and then this piece as well. So like I used on my card, I used both pieces, but then on another card that we're gonna create today, this one, we aren't gonna use that negative piece. So we are going to create these 3 projects today. I'll show you what they look like here. We'll get that out of the way. So like I have this one here. Very fun. These little bees I just fussy cut from the designer series paper, so I did not stamp those bees. But here is this one, We Are Meant to Be. I love these little punny sentiments that go along with this. Now, this one I did not use the punch with. Now, unfortunately, these bees don't fit in this builder punch. But on this project, I still stamped the little smallest bee design, and I still use the punch anyways. So you can still use it. It just won't fit exactly like that other size. But you have a larger, a smaller bee, and then if you have that other stamp set still, you have 3 size bees. So these are the projects that we're gonna work on today because it is Valentine's Day week. So let's see, we've got our first project. Courtney says she attempted a scrapbook page once 20 years ago. The last time I created a scrapbook page, I think it was for another class that I did, but a couple years ago, I presented at a Stampin' Up! On stage event, a demonstrator event that Stampin' Up! Holds, and it was in front of 600-700 people that I presented, and when I did that, I really wanted to create a scrapbook page. I wanted to get myself out of my comfort zone. That one scrapbook page took me 6 hours to make. So that's why I don't do scrapbook pages. And it was like the most basic scrapbook page ever. And I can't. I like cards because the canvas area is small. It doesn't, like those big 12 by 12 page sizes, they overwhelm me. It's just way too much. So I don't scrapbook. When I first started paper crafting, that's how I got into paper crafting. I went to a scrapbook event with my mom, and yeah, that was like the worst scrapbook ever page, but I was in like 5th grade, so I had to cut myself some slack there. Okay, so here's the first project that we're gonna make today. We're gonna make these cute little bees here. I love the sentiment, cute as can be, and we're gonna kind of make our own pattern down the side here. So we have our basic white cardstock, petal pink cardstock, and we're going to add this to our card base. Now, petal pink is not the color that's in the designer series paper. Pretty and pink is, but I wanted to, oh, I should put that on straight. I wanted to use a different pink for this one. because we're not using any designer series paper on this one, it's just I wanted to use a different color pink, and it kind of matches my nails this week too. Okay, so we put our petal pink down. We have a piece of basic white cardstock, and we're gonna use petal pink and petunia pop for our 2 ink colors here. And the little heart, let me see. I have all of my stamps on my blocks already, and we're using a lot of stamps today, so lots of blocks to go through. We're gonna bring in our spare grid paper because we may stamp off a little bit, and let me get the sleeves out of the way. So first I'm going to stamp my hearts using petal pink, and we're just gonna go down the side. Let's get this out of the way. I don't wanna get ink on my hands, and I don't wanna get ink on my project. So we're just gonna move it off to the side. So we're just going down the side of the card, varying the directions of our hearts to create our own pattern paper. And we're gonna clean this off with our Stampin' Scrub. I already spritzed it earlier. And we're going to do the same thing with the Petunia Pop ink, but this time our hearts are gonna go in the opposite direction that we stamped first. So this one is kind of going off to the right side, so our first heart's gonna go towards the left. And then in between those spaces, we're just going to stamp those little hearts. So a quick and easy technique. Anybody can do this. You don't have to have any special skill level to stamp hearts down the side of your paper. And while we have our Petunia Pop open, we're gonna stamp our sentiment that says cute as can be. And that's right here. And that's gonna go upper right corner here. There we go. And now we can close that up. I also have some spare paper here. So we are gonna stamp our little bee bodies on a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock, and we're going to use, this is the smaller bee, let me just make sure. Yep, the smaller body and the smaller wings. So let me make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. There we go. And we're gonna stamp 2 bee bodies in Tuxedo ink. And when you use this punch, you kind of want to be aware of which way you're going to be punching. So I'm going to stamp my bodies going up and down, vertical, and then I'm going to trim that so I can thread the paper through the punch going this way so that I don't waste cardstock punching out on this side. So we're just going to ink up 2 bees here. And I want to space them to give them enough room. And like I said, we're gonna trim that out here. And then on a spare piece of petal pink, we're gonna do 4 of the little wings. I'm just gonna trim off that excess paper here. Now this one is a little more tricky, because this punch here can be either a heart or it can be the wings. Now because it is on this side of the punch and kind of at an angle, it depends on how I'm gonna stamp my wings. So I am just going to stamp them kind of side by side here, give them plenty of space. And then we'll punch everything out. Okay, our punch, open that up, and we're gonna thread that piece of paper through here. Now, like I said, these bodies don't fit this punch, but that's okay. You can still use it. And there we go. There are, let me just make sure. I think there's dies to fit this. Yes, there are dies to fit these, but if I have a punch and I can do it faster, then I'm gonna use my punch. It's just a lot easier. Okay, there we go. And our wings, we're gonna come in at that angle So you can see here. And again, these don't fit all the way either. That's okay. Still use what we have to make it work. There we go. And then 2 more. And it's okay that the little end of the punch is not a full heart because we're gonna be covering up those wings. It's like watching Bob Ross, but for cards. Hi, Ashley. Yep, this is me. Every week I go live and I Bob Ross from my craft room. Okay, so we've got our little wings and our bees. Now we're gonna glue the wings on. You just wanna add a little bit of glue to the back or to the front of the wings. And then right in there. And then we're gonna stamp the little faces on them. Now this stamp set has 3 different face options, and I'm just going to choose 2 different ones. I did the ones with the little closed eyes and then the open eyes. So we've got these 2 little tiny stamps and our black ink again. There's that guy and this. And now we're ready to assemble. So we've got our stamped background. This is just gonna go on with our regular glue. And then our bees are gonna go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So those go there. And then our little pop-ups on the back of the bees. I like to add 2, just 1 on each side of the wings. Hello, Veronica. I thought about you, Veronica, the other day. I know you like to make little Valentines for your son's class. I know you did last year. I wasn't sure if you were gonna make them again this year. If you do, I would love to see what you make. And then I'll be using, yes, we're using these this week. The purple sequins. So they actually come in 4 different shades of purple. And I'll be using the like iridescent white looking purple ones. And we're gonna add 2 of those in the upper right corner of our card. And that is our first project today, featuring the Meant to Be stamp set. Very fun. I love this one. Cute as can be. I mean, that sentiment is really sweet. Now I have all these Valentine's Day cards, but I only have 1 Valentine, so I'm gonna have to figure out who I'm gonna send them to. Maybe I'll send them to my nieces and my nephews. They would love these cards. Okay, next up is this project here, Love This Life. So this one, we are going to add some Designer Series paper to it. So get a little bit of that pattern paper here. So we have a piece of Petunia Pop cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just gonna use my bone folder here to crisp up my line. And then 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. They're both the same size. 2 inches by, I think it's 5, let me see, 2 by 5 1/4. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our first one down at the bottom. And that one will go here. And then this one, there's gonna be a place where they line up against each other. And because we have those 2 different kinds of patterns coming together, right there, I have a piece of Pool Party cardstock that we're just gonna lay right across the front so that it's not such a harsh transition there. So there we go. And that'll go right across the front. Now, I already pre-die cut that hexagon shape. But this is Pretty in Pink cardstock. And we're gonna bring in our grid paper again, and we're gonna create this pattern back here, doing tone on tone stamping. So we have our Pretty in Pink cardstock with our Pretty in Pink ink pad, and we're going to stamp this flower design around the paper. Oh, Sweet Sorbet, not, I said Poppy Parade. It's Sweet Sorbet. So a color that is retired, Sweet Sorbet. Yes, that's why I still have the paper because I really like it. And that's why it wasn't matching my Poppy Parade, because it was Sweet Sorbet. Thank you. I completely forgot about Sweet Sorbet. It hasn't even been that long since it's been retired. But thank you, Corinne. Okay, so we've stamped our flowers in the back here, and now we're gonna use our sentiment, Love This Life, and we're gonna stamp that with our Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and that's gonna go right across the bottom, well, the middle of our little die cut here. Here we go. This is gonna go on with dimensionals right here. Put those here. And that will go across the front of our card. Now we're going to take some of that Designer Series paper with the little bees on it. So we need, let me find it, this pattern right here. So this one, the other side is the stripes, what we're gonna use in our next project here. But we're gonna cut out 2 of these bees. And for the top one, I'm gonna do this little guy right here. And then our other one we'll do, I'm trying to choose ones that are close to the edge of the paper, because I don't want to cut too much into the middle of the paper, because then I can use that for other projects. But right there. Now the good thing about these little guys is that they're very easy to cut out. So we're just gonna fussy cut them out really quick. Ooh, that was a bad cut. Let's go back. I love Sweet Sorbet as a red better than the other reds except Cherry Cobbler. I love Cherry Cobbler. I use that a lot at Christmas time. But I do miss Sweet Sorbet a lot too. We're coming up on the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. I'll get to see it next month at Stampin' Up! On Stage. So I am excited to see our new in colors. So what Stampin' Up! Does is each year they release 5 new colors, and they're called in colors. They stick around for 2 years, and then sometimes they retire, sometimes they become color family colors. But they are in addition to our colors that we always have. So they, like Petunia Pop and Pretty in Pink are 2 of our in colors that we currently have right now. So they're meant to coordinate with what we have, in addition to fill in any gaps of where colors may be needed. So our current 5 colors that will retire are Boho Blue, Wild Wheat, Copper Clay, Pebbled Path, Boho Blue, Wild Wheat, Copper Clay, Pebbled Path, and there's one more, Moody Mauve. And then these 5 that were just debuted May. They debuted in May of last year. They'll stick around for another year, and then we'll get 5 new ones that stick around for 2 years. So every year, 5 retire, 5 debut, and then they stick around for 2 years. Okay, these are gonna get just glued down with our regular glue here. I already have 1 layer of dimensionals. I didn't want to add 2 layers to make it too thick for mailing. Those will go there. And then we're gonna add some of these lighter purple sequins on here. We're gonna add a large one to the right of our hexagon, and then a smaller one right below it. And then the same thing on the opposite side to kind of frame it. And there is our second project with our Meant to Be stamp set. Very fun and easy. Yes, Courtney, I'm going to Raleigh. I'll be there. I am going to Raleigh. It'll be my last on stage for a while since I'm moving to Korea this summer, but I'm very excited. I get to see all my Stampin' friends. So yes, Courtney, if you are around, I would love to meet up and say hi. Okay, our last project, this one. This is my favorite this week. The little Meant to Be with the bigger bee just really stands out, and the honey pots make it really fun too. Okay, our card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and so we're making an easel card. So here's our little easel card, stands up like that. We have a piece of that designer series paper, 4 by 5 1/4, and there's the opposite side of what we just used. Yes, Leanne, I'm so excited for Raleigh, but I'm also sad because that's gonna be the last time that I see some of my friends for a really long time. And I know I'm gonna cry like a little baby, but that's okay. It's not, in the military life, it's not goodbye, it's see you later. So we are all too familiar with saying see you later. So we will see each other later. Okay, piece of pretty and pink cardstock with 3 strips of designer series paper that I'm just gonna lay on here because I wanna make sure my spacing is right before I glue anything down. And then once I have it where I want it, I am going to glue this all down. I find it weird that one of the colors in this paper is Mossy Meadow. I wouldn't think Mossy Meadow would go with this paper, so I didn't use any of the greens. I used the purples and the pinks because that is more Valentine's to me than Mossy Meadow. I don't ever use Mossy Meadow. All right, and that's gonna go there, and then we'll flip. Where am I moving to next? So this summer, we are probably gonna be leaving in July. I will be moving to Osan Air Base. It is right outside of Seoul, Korea. A little nervous. I've never been to Korea. My husband has. My husband did a year assignment there. He went to a base though that families weren't allowed to go to, so I wasn't allowed to move with him. So he's been there. I have not. A little nervous, you know, fear of the unknown. It's a big culture change, but I am excited because on my bucket list is I want to visit Tokyo, and it's only like a 2-hour flight. So of course I'm gonna have to visit Tokyo while I'm there. And I already have plans January 2027 to go to Tokyo Disney. Okay, I've die cut a piece of Petunia Pop cardstock with the Stylish Shapes dies. I pre-die cut it because I didn't want to get the die cut machine out if I didn't have to. And we're gonna do the sentiment that says we are meant to be. And get my black ink out here, and that's gonna get stamped right in the middle. Go. It is a little tight on this one, but the next size up circle die was just way too big, so I went with this size. Normally I would like to give a little more space on the side of the sentiment pieces, but I am still okay with that size. Now that first project we used the small size B. This one we're going to use the larger size, and we're going to stamp it. So a piece of white cardstock. Where did my white cardstock go? Oh, here it is. I'll just use this piece. Oh, I don't want to use that one. There we go. Okay, scrap piece of basic white cardstock. We are going to stamp the bee's body, so just the bigger circle, in Daffodil Delight ink. And now, because there is not, oh, I want to stamp that over farther because I got to add the tail. So there we go, the stinger. So there is not a punch that goes along with this. There is a die. So I'm going to not use the die. I'm just gonna hand cut this guy out. Will I still be doing lives from there? I'm going to try. So from Rhode Island, it is a 14-hour time difference. So it would technically be 10 a.m. right now there. Yes, 10 a.m. So I would assume I could still do Facebook Lives. 10 a.m. is not a crazy time to still do things. So I've stamped the stinger and the body, and we're gonna stamp the wings separate. And that's just gonna go there. And then the little bee face, we're gonna add on there as well. And now we can get all these stamps out of the way. Kind of clean up some space here. Now, like I mentioned, this is going to cut here. And we're just gonna fussy cut him out. And go around here. Yeah, the fear of the unknown. It's I think mainly one of the reasons I'm very nervous about moving there is, I will admit, I am a very picky eater and I don't eat seafood. So a lot of, like, you know, Asian meals have seafood in them. So my main thing is, like, I'm afraid when we go out to eat to try new things, because I'm afraid of wasting money and then ordering something and then not liking it, and then I wasted money and I wasted food, and I don't like to do either one of those things. So that's my big concern. I'm a big picky eater. The culture difference, the language barrier. Yes, there's Google Translate. I used it a lot when we lived in Italy, but Italian is kind of easy to figure out. You can spell out the word, or like sound out the words, and it's quite easy. I mean, yes, you butcher it, but it's quite easy to sound out things. But I don't know Korean at all. So, but yes, as my mom says right there, I was scared to move to Italy, and then I loved it when I was there. And I have heard nothing but good things about this base in Korea. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Everybody I've talked to that has been there has loved it. So I'm excited about that part. I'm excited about the travel opportunities. I think one thing I'm excited about is that you can get a scooter, like a motorized scooter to get around, because you can only bring one car. And I'm like, ooh, I could get like a Vespa. I couldn't get a Vespa in Italy, but I was like, I could get a Vespa in Korea, or whatever type of, you know, like motorized scooter that they have. I just see me with my dog Beans in the little scooter going around town. So, okay, we're gonna add our sequins on here. So I've got a large and a small of the white ones, and then one of the small ones here. And there's our last project today, featuring the Meant to Be bundle. So I really like this one. This one is my favorite this week. So we're gonna bring in all three projects from today. Let me know which one you like the best. Yes, they would need a cargo plane to get my craft stuff there. Pretty much, yeah, that's what no. I am gonna have to put some stuff into storage, but I think a lot of it's still gonna come with me. I'm gonna try to bring as much as I can. All right, so here's our three projects this week. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite this week. We have our two little cute as can be's. We have the Love This Life, and then we are Meant to Be. Like I said, this one's my favorite this week. I really like how simple it is with the layers and the mixture of designer series papers. So let me know which one in the comments is your favorite this week. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. As a reminder, there will not be a Makers Monday live next week because it is President's Day. My husband has the day off of work, and so we'll be spending some time together. So I will be seeing you in 2 weeks for another week of Makers